הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה, יאללה, לה, 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה, יאללה, לה, 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom. Glad to be celebrating Shabbat with you tonight, everyone here in the room and everyone here joining us from home through our live stream. We begin our service together on page 2 with the open door. And please read with me. May the door to this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for connection. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, and hopes to nurture. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. And we continue with Shir Chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. And we continue on the bottom of page 3 with the 4 types of students from Pirkei Avot. There are 4 types among those who sit before the sages: the sponge, the funnel, the strainer, and the sieve. The sponge absorbs all. The funnel takes it in at one end and lets it all out the other. The strainer rejects the wine and retains the sediment, and the sieve rejects the coarse flour and retains the fine flour. I'd like to invite up Jenny to light our Shabbat candles on page 4.
As we kindle the lights of Shabbat, may the world be filled with warmth and radiance. May our hearts be filled with hope and joy. May our minds be filled with wisdom and understanding. And may our lives be filled with love and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, Jenny. At this point in our service, we think of the week that has passed, and we hold on to all of the good things from this past week. So if you had any experiences that inspired gratitude, if you have some good news to share, no matter how big or how small, I invite you to share that joy now. Yeah, Sarah?
It's a couple weeks late, but I am rocking and rolling at the new job, so that feels great.
Mazel tov on the new job. Glad it's rocking and rolling. Anything else that was good this week?
None of us perished in the tornado,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are.
Yeah, but I spent a lot of time in the hall.
I spent a lot of time on the floor with 18 teenagers
So we had some bonding time today with the tornado warnings. Yeah.
who were excited not to be doing math.
I enjoyed my day off and had a massage.
Awesome. Glad you had a good day off and got a massage and everything. Awesome.
I enjoyed the 4-day weekend
4-day weekends, can't beat that.
and 3-day work week.
So we thank God for all of these blessings, including the blessing of simply being alive and not perishing in a tornado. The words of Shehechianu on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Just to be is a blessing. Just to live is holy. Prayer is our humble answer to the inconceivable surprise of living. And we continue with the responsive reading in the bottom of page 5. Ben Zoma used to say, "Who is wise? Who is strong? Who is rich? Who is honorable?" And we continue on page 6 with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi ori, uri shidaberi, kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat Dodi likrat kala, Peni Shabbat nikabelan. We rise together and face the entrance to symbolically welcome in the presence of Shabbat. Mishalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, peni Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, peni Shabbat nikabela. We continue on page 8 with characteristics of the wise. There are 7 things that characterize a boor, and 7 that characterize a wise man. A wise man does not speak before one who is greater than him in wisdom or age. He does not interrupt his fellow's words. He does not rush to answer. His questions are on the subject and his answers to the point. He responds to first things first and to latter things later. Concerning what he did not hear, he says, I did not hear. He concedes to the truth. With the boor, the reverse of all these is the case. We remain standing for the official call to worship the Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach leolam ba'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach leolam ba'ed. Page 9. Ahavat Olam. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And we continue with the Shema on page 10. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom al Vavecha Vishinatam Levanecha Vidibarta Bam Beshivtecha Bevetecha Uvalechtecha Vaderech Uvshoch Becha Uvkumecha Ushartam Leot Al Yadecha V'hayu letotofot beinenecha Uchtavtam hamezuzot beitecha Uvisharecha Leman tizkeru V'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. We continue on page 11 with the responsive reading. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your strength, and with all your being. See these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. We do not teach our children by words alone. May I make my life and actions into good teachings. For in my conduct I must exemplify Torah. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Lord, am your God who led you out of Egypt. I, the Lord, am your God. We continue on page 13 with Escaping Mitzrayim. Holy One of blessing, liberate our minds from the Mitzrayim, or narrow confines of our own making. Grant us wisdom and understanding, vision and insight, so that we may see through all of the illusions and delusions in this world and cast our eyes firmly upon truth instead. Help us to discover our true purpose, to uncover the meaning of our existence, and to find our ways in this world as we journey together from Mitzrayim to freedom. We continue with Micha Mocha. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. Continue on page 14 with Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת בנפש, שבת בנפש, שבת בנפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Page 15. Akavya ben Mahalalel used to say, "Know where you came from and where you are going." Hillel used to say, "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, then what am I? And if not now, when?" Please rise for our central prayer, the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. Please be seated. We continue with a quiet moment for personal prayer or reflection. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון, לכל השלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. And we continue with a special prayer for Veterans Day, the last soldier. When the last soldier passes on, when armies are disbanded and militias discharged, when weapons are abandoned and armor discarded, your mission will at last be over. For you know the soldier's secret. Yours was not a mission of war, nor a mission of ruin. Yours was not a mission of destruction, nor a mission of death. Your mission was safety, security, protection. Your mission was honor, loyalty, service. Your mission was to end violence, tyranny, and despair. When the last soldier passes on, when the uniforms are retired and the final grave filled, we will remember all who served and sacrificed for our nation. Until then, God of old, watch over our soldiers and our veterans. Renew their courage, rebuild their strength, heal their wounds. Bind their hearts with your steadfast love. Remember them, bless them, sustain them, and give them peace. Amen. At this point in our service, we think of loved ones who are in need of healing. Tonight, we think especially of Robert Signer, Michael Kinnebrew, Victoria Schneier, Alyssa Freeman, Marcy Horwitz, Beth Levine, Rabbi Jerry Levy, and Natalie Rayner. Are there other loved ones whose healing we wish to pray for tonight?
Adrian and Will Ferris.
My friend Nick and my great uncle Johnny.
Justin Wojcik. Tamara Hagan. Bob and Woody and Bob Bennett.
Steve Parker.
DeMarte Burnside.
With the power of community, we pray for their refuah shlema, the complete healing of body and or spirit, the words of Mishiberach found on page 19. Mishiberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. So last week, I was taking a walk with Rachel and had a new song stuck in my head. One particular line kept repeating in my brain during our stroll. And this week, as I read the Torah portion about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, I had a similar experience, just with a line from the Torah instead of song lyrics. I could not get this verse about Lot's wife out of my head. Genesis chapter 19, Verse 26 says, "His wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt." Now, there are plenty of biblical passages about people meeting their demise. Most of these passages involve plagues, famine, war, floods, or just general smiting. One rebellious faction is swallowed up by the earth, perhaps in quicksand or an earthquake. But being suddenly transformed into a pillar of salt is a unique way to go, even by biblical standards. Some see this punishment as a form of poetic justice. There's a midrash that Lot's wife insulted people who seasoned their food when Lot asked her to get some salt for their dinner guests. Based on this midrash, the very thing she used to hurt others turned out to be what hurt her most in the end. Another intriguing interpretation of this verse about Lot's wife comes from the 11th century Spanish commentator Abraham ibn Ezra, who said that Lot's wife was not literally turned into a pillar of salt. So, pretty bold statement 1,000 years ago. Rather, he suggests that she was burned by the fire and brimstone like the rest of Sodom, while her remains were later encrusted with salt. That explanation might make more sense to people who are scientifically minded and wonder how someone made of carbon, hydrogen, calcium, and other elements could be reduced to only sodium. So let's suppose this more scientific explanation was the case. What lesson do we learn from this unusual Torah story? We see several times in the text that despite being given clear warning from the angels, Lot's family hesitated to leave their home in Sodom. Lot's wife in particular seems to hesitate at this crucial moment. In verse 17, the angel literally says, "Run for your life. Do not look behind you." And yet, Lot's wife cannot fight the urge to turn around and watch the destruction of her home. She was given a chance to flee, but she could not escape her own curiosity. Some people may find it easy to judge and question how she could have been so foolish. But Lot's wife was fighting a natural human tendency which did not disappear at the end of the biblical era. Just the other day, I saw others struggling with the same impulse as I drove past a car accident. This collision probably happened at least 30 minutes before I was on that street. A badly damaged car had been pushed to the side of the road. Broken glass and other debris had also been cleared, so there were no longer any physical obstacles in the road to create a traffic jam. But everyone still slowed down as they approached that spot to stare at the car that had been destroyed. In that moment of curiosity, most people were taking their eyes off of the road in front of them, which nearly caused another accident in the same spot. Though if you've ever been in a situation like this, you might wonder, why is it so hard to take our eyes off of a disaster? One psychological explanation is that this form of intense staring is part of our natural fight or flight response. We notice that something isn't right and then stop to analyze the situation. We survey what we can and try to evaluate whether there is an ongoing threat that could potentially affect us. In the case of Lot's family, the angels had done that calculation for them. There was no time to turn around or second-guess the evaluation. It was time to flee for their lives. But Lot's wife couldn't accept that fact. She just had to turn around and see for herself. And unfortunately, she ended up becoming a part of the tragedy that she could not peel her eyes away from. One valuable lesson that we can take from this story is the importance of focusing on what matters most in each situation. We are constantly surrounded by distractions, whether that be accident debris on the side of the road or notifications constantly dinging on our phones. When we are driving, we need to keep our eyes on the road. If we are in an emergency situation, we need to focus on getting to safety and fight the urge to freeze or run back into unsafe locations in order to retrieve certain items. This lesson applies not just to extreme emergencies, but also to mundane situations. For example, when a partner, friend, or child is asking us a question, we need to stay focused on that conversation rather than being distracted by notifications on our phone or thoughts about the next thing we have coming up. May we use this Shabbat to reflect on what it means to be truly present and focused in our lives. If we realize that we have been distracted by the wrong things, let us remember the story of Lot's wife and listen to the angels in our own day who remind us to stay focused on what really matters. And let us say, Amen. And I think we'll come back to announcements. Let's continue with Alenu on page 20 at the bottom. Oh, just kidding. She's ready. She's ready. So I'd like to invite up Sarah to share some much highly anticipated announcements. No.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, what do we have going on this week and the following weeks? Okay, tomorrow we have Torah study at 11 in the morning. It is in person and virtual. And Sunday, we have 2 different events going on. We've got the Crop Hunger Walk, which you can do anytime. It can be virtual or on site. I think they're going to walk around at Maymont. There's registration for it, which is at 1 p.m., and the step off is at 2 p.m., and it's like a 3-mile walk to benefit the Crop Hunger Organization. It's also the Global Day of Jewish Learning from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., featuring our own Rabbi Ahuva and also many other local clergy folk from different congregations. That's going to be at the JCC. I have been told that registration ahead of time is strongly encouraged, although there's also a rumor that you can just walk in. So if you're interested, I would encourage registering ahead of time. I am starting it now. I didn't start it. I just passed it on. Klezmer rehearsal. That's fun. There's also a risk research kickoff at 7 p.m. on Thursday, November 17th. At Bon Air Presbyterian Church. So anybody who is interested in getting more involved with risk or social action should go to that. On November 19th, we have the escape room going on for our Orami Temple youth. Odie, escape room. Where are you escaping from? Can you register for a specific scene? I don't know. Okay. I have done one. So we can still take some more takers for the escape room, and contact Nancy Nelson if you have a teen or 2 that want to go to that. Next week we've got, I'm sorry, that's not next week. Oh, it is. Yes, next week we have religious school and real theology. It looks like November 27th. Of note, no religious school. We are on Thanksgiving break. And we will return to more usual programming following Thanksgiving. And I think that's everything. And Ron.
Real theology is on the 20th, and it's Jacob the Liar.
Jacob the Liar.
Which we missed last time due to a technical malfunction.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's play that back. Real theology is happening also on Sunday, November 20th. At 6 p.m., and it'll be Jacob the Liar. It says 6. Yeah, okay. The event starts at 6. The movie starts at 6:30. Make sure you get there in time to watch the whole movie. All right. I think that's it. Shabbat Shalom. Stay. Okay.
And a special thanks in advance to John Weinberg, who will be covering Shabbat services next week. I will be out of town at a close family friend's bat mitzvah, so thank you for making sure we still have a great Shabbat service here. So at this point in our service, we think of loved ones who have passed away recently or at this time in years past. Tonight we remember with love the yartzites of Bessie Arkava, mother of Alan Arkava, Mary Ellen Bierce, longtime member of Orami, Warren Brooks, uncle of Selena Geider, Louise Cosby, aunt of Grace Silverstein, Blanche Kent, mother of Linda Kessler, Dina Simon, mother of Alex Simon, and Lee Mark Gordon Woolman, father of Alex Woolman. Are there other loved ones we wish to remember tonight?
Edward Prescott.
Dr. Anna Wisconsin.
Frank Weinberg.
Zichronam Libracha, may their memories always be a blessing. We rise as a community of support for the Mourners Kaddish on page 22. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Be'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Be'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort for all who are bereaved, and let us say, Amen. Please be seated. We conclude our service tonight near the middle of page 23 with Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, 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 aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to Patricia for playing tonight. Please return your services to the table near the entrance and join us in the back for Kiddush and Motzi.